cluster and factor extra. Okay, so library cluster library factor extra. Okay, so let us use a data set. DF is equal to USA RS. Did you guys work on this data, USA RS, by any chance?
No, sir.
So number of arrests for different crimes committed in US states. This is a data set which is constantly updated. DF is equal to NA dot omit DF. So head DF. So if you look at the head, you have the state name, murder, assault, urban population, and rape. DF. So if you observe the data is in different number formats. Some are in tens, some are in hundreds. So we need to scale the data. To scale data, it's data in different number formats. So we do a standard scaler, x minus mean divided by standard deviation, scale DF. Now if you look at the DF, you'll get the scaled data. So scaling, we have used standard scaler here. So if you go to help and type scale, you'll get the formula. So we have scaled the data now. Now, when you look at different understanding of clustering, the most important is the distance measures. How you calculate the distance between the centroid and the data point. One of the popular method is Euclidean distance. Euclidean distance. So Euclidean distance is square root of sum of xi minus yi to the power of 2 whole square. So Euclidean distance is square root of sum of x minus y whole square. X1 y1 minus y1 x2 minus y2. So we have to do the Euclidean distance. So Euclidean distance is very interesting method and it is a default method. It is a default method which is used in most of the clustering algorithms, Euclidean distance. Now, there is one more type of distance which is popular is Manhattan distance. So Manhattan distance, absolute sum of xi minus yi. You will take the absolute value of xi minus yy. ABS or absolute value. When I say absolute, I mean to say You will ignore the mathematical sign. Okay, so these are popular distance methods which are used widely in clustering. So the dist function in Python, in R, the dist function in R will give us the distance measures. The dist function in R. Which package is dist? Stats package. The distance is a straightforward thing. Why it is giving us serialization, dissimilarities, path. Traffic dist. This is coming. Let's see scale and this we will get any other scale. So the dist function in R. So these are the distance methods we have: Euclidean, maximum, Manhattan, Canberra, binary, and Minkowski. So these are the distance methods we have in the distance function: Euclidean, Manhattan, Canberra, binary, or Minkowski. We use mostly Euclidean and in Manhattan. Minkowski very rarely it is used. So Minkowski, this is the formula: P norm pth root of sum of pth powers of the difference of the component. It is a little bit complicated formula. This is the Euclidean formula. Manhattan is the absolute of this, and Minkowski is pth root of sum of pth powers of the differences of component. It is little bit complicated, so it uses the dist function. So we need to first calculate the distance between things. There are also correlation based distance functions also. There are also correlation based distance function also, but we don't use them much. It is more used in academic context. Okay, so we need to calculate the distance, and then using the distance we need to calculate the what you call k-means clustering. We can use the k-means clustering based on distance. So that is what we are going to use. Okay. So as part of the algorithm, it generally calculates. So let us see how we will get the k-means. So let us say k-means. So in k-means, we have algorithm, Harrington-Wong, Lloyd, Fork, McGivin. Okay. So we will just calculate the measures. K2 or K5 is equal to k-means df comma 10. Let us convert into 10 clusters. Summary K5 or say K10. Let us make it K10. K10 is equal to 10 clusters. Summary K10. So when you print, you will get all the parameters. See here. So it is also giving the cluster for each state. Which state belongs to which cluster? Clustering vectors. Then cluster means. So for the first cluster, the murder mean is minus 0.34, assault is minus 0.67, rape is 0.24. So for each cluster, it is giving you the centroids, and it, apart from the cluster means, it also given the 10 clusters. So cluster 1 has 6 states, cluster 2 has 3 states, cluster 4 has 3 states. So that is how the clusters will be formed. So complete clusters will be given. So now you can see the output and the state also to which the cluster to which the state belongs. Now f is underscore cluster K10 data is equal to df. So these are the 10 clusters. Okay, all of you got the cluster plot?
Yes, sir.
So, but do we need 10 clusters, or can we build a better clustering model with less number of clusters? That is what we have to find out. So to find out the appropriate or exact number of clusters, we have different methods. So let us say how to determine optimal clusters. Say we have randomly selected 10 and then we have built the clustering algorithm. But do we need 10 clusters to classify this data? That we need to find out. One of the method is elbow method. Elbow plot method. We can create an elbow plot and then find out whether the number of clusters which we required is enough or not. Function of k, then curly braces, press enter, we'll give the function things. K means df comma k comma n start is equal to 10 dollar tot dot within this. Okay. So what this will do is it will take the values of k and then plots the withins of the values. Okay. Oh, I forgot is equal to. Let us assume k dot values as 1 colon 15. We will take 1 to 15 as our values. W underscore values is equal to map underscore dbl k dot values comma wss. It will run the function with all the values. Plot k dot values comma wss underscore values comma type is equal to b comma pch is equal to 19 comma xlab is equal to number of clusters ylab is equal to total within SS. Cluster sum of squares. Okay. So I have written a function and then we calculated the values. Now I'm plotting. Now based on this plot, you can see here there is some sort of stagnation happening after I think I think 15 clusters is what we need to have. Okay. I think we need to have more actually. See here, it is not straightening. Elbow means it should straighten. The elbow plot should straighten. It is not straightening, so we might need to increase the values of k. So let us say k values is 20. And then let me zoom and see. 20 also there is some sort of elbowing is there, but actually after third plot, much of difference is coming down slowly. I think after 15 there is only marginal difference. So this is called elbow plot. This is called elbow plot. Elbow method. So based on the things, we need to create an elbow plot, and the plot at which the error becomes stagnant, that will be our reliable number of clusters. This is called elbow method. Actually, you can also use the function fwiz underscore nb df comma k means comma method is equal to wss. See, it is also giving us this other the cluster. So from 6 cluster onwards, it is stagnating. So you can also use elbow method. The same elbow method can be plotted using this. Using the fwiz nb cluster. So the location of the bend is the plot is generally considered to be the indication of good number of clusters, after which it again becomes a straight line or standardized variance. Okay, all of you got this? All right, can I move forward?
Yes, sir.
The second method is average Silhouette method. This is also a very popular method. SOUETT. The Silhouette method is also a good method wherein it also uses separate formula for calculating the values. You can do it using fwiz underscore nb classed df comma k means.
Sir, the ideal clusters which you have to take is 15, sir, or we
Not
can
15,
take
the bend where it is happening.
6. Okay.
Or 6 or 4, I think. In the previous plot, the major bend is happening somewhere here, right? From this, it's almost like a straight line. We are you can see it is suggesting something around the bend. This is the bend actually. So 4 or 5 would be the better option. You can take 4 as the bend point.
Okay, sir.
Method is equal to Silhouette. SILHOUETTE. So if you look at the width, higher grade, what you call the width here, it is suggesting 2. Or if you can go up to 4, would be a better option. This is suggesting 2 clusters. See, after 2 it is stagnating. So the maximum width is happening at around second cluster. 3 less 4, okay. 5. So this is a Silhouette method is also giving us some output, but it's not giving a good picture. So I would suggest we will take the elbow method thing, which is giving us the good output. So somewhere around 4 should be our optimal number clusters. We will see whether 4 fits us or not also. See the 4 distinct clusters, there is no overlap, they are very clear, right? So this is how we need the cluster formation. There should not be any overlap. Each cluster should have a complete distinct thing. So 4 is a better cluster option for us. See that we are getting a very clear cut clustering. There is no overlapping, nothing. The difference between each of the cluster is also very clear. So 4 clusters is what we can go with finally. So when you do clustering, it has to have complete what we call difference or distance between each of the clusters without any overlaps. All right, all of you are done with the K-means clustering.
Yes, sir.
Now let us look at the other part, hierarchical clustering. Again, this is also a distance method. Output is a cluster dendrogram. When we do text mining, we have seen this dendrogram. It's like a decision tree only, but it's a slightly different one. Hclust is equal, function is hclust. Clustering is equal to hclust dist df, comma method is equal to what d dot h clustering. So you get the clustering like this dendrogram. Summary, h clustering or print. So clustering method is what, the distance method is Euclidean. So you can see in help there are the other hclust methods, the linkage methods. How the tree links are formed is what is given in the word D. No, my internet is very weak today. It's not even help also not working. Oh, sorry, I'm typing in the wrong window. First. So we got the plot as like this. Let us say method is equal to complete. Will it change anything? Let me check once. No, same. Alabama, Louisiana, Georgia, Tennessee, they are all in one cluster. Alaska is a separate cluster. For numerical data, choose complete method. For text mining data, choose WARD-D method. And Polymer 202 is the room ready for the change because the A6 not working here? No. The room has to be changed. No. Okay. So these are the two prominent clustering methods which are used to segregate data or segment data in marketing or anywhere. We use these clustering methods to segmentation or segregate data based on certain parameters. All right, all of you got this? Okay, participants?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is your clustering methods. So I'll stop recording. Any doubts in your marketing assignment?